The next commander we have is Kess Dissident Mage. She is blue, black, red, and her thing is during each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard. If a spell cast this way would be put in your graveyard, exile it instead. We talked about how the spell, slinger, decks, archetypes, whatever, blue-red. This adds black, and it synergizes so well. Black is such a good color for spell slinging. It adds a lot of lethality to spell slinging, and a lot of recursion like Kess is doing. Just a lot of good black stuff. It's a very synergistic color. There's not a ton of spell slinging reanimation. You know, when you do reanimation, it's almost always for creatures or some kind of permanent. He's one of the rare cards that's getting instants and sorceries out, and she is really going to excel in decks full of cantrips, removals, interactions. Cards like Ponder, Terminate, the Demonic Tuner all got a second life with Kess. You know, we've always talked about, like in our Reanimator special and all that stuff, the graveyard's another hand. You know, it's just got so much value. When it's your turn with her on the field, you now have lots of different options. Not really card draw, but they're sitting there as if your hand is much bigger.
Yeah.
She can be done in a lot of different ways. She could do control shells, storm combos.
Do you think there's a world where you pile a bunch of self-mill into a Kess deck?
Yeah, I could see it.
And you're just hoping to, in that way, rush out your big spell by self-milling and just getting it into your graveyard as fast as you can?
I could see it, but I mean, you still gotta have the mana to pay for it. So
right, that's true.
Yeah, but what Kess does, I think, is let you play you play your expropriate. Does expropriate?
Expropriate does exile itself.
Okay, I figured it probably did, but it lets you play your time warp and then play your time warp again. You know, so
and in the early game, it lets you opt and then opt again.
Yeah.
Like just getting those cheap cast triggers off is just really good.
Yeah.